The best way to show up higher on search engines is actually to not focus on search engines. Now, obviously on the structure side you do, which I'll come back to in a minute. Usually when people start talking about how do you optimize to show up higher in search engines, they kind of focus on the content side, which they should. The best way that I tell my team to optimize for search engines is to not focus on SEO, ironically. So a lot of times what happens is when we focus on SEO, we over optimize the content. And so a couple things happen. One is a lot of times Google can tell if it's over optimized or keyword stuff, so it does more harm than good. But actually the bigger impact is on the readability, because if you over optimize your content, especially if you're mass producing content with AI and you're just telling it to build it based on a certain structure and keyword density, then it makes it less readable. Now, here's where this affects your SEO is when people come to your website and visit it, you and everybody else, like you've probably seen a piece of content where something just feels a little bit off, right? I know I see it all the time. And usually that's because it's optimized for SEO. So instead of focusing on that, focus on authentic content, because when you do that, it resonates better with your audience. Now, why does that matter for SEO? Well, Google pays attention to how long people stay on your website. It's called an abandonment rate or an exit rate. It's basically this metric of how long do they stay on the page once they've landed. So the longer that somebody stays on your website, then Google says this must be a better answer or resource than the competitors when people visit that website and they stay less on the competing site. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and show it higher on search engines for more people. So in your content, this is probably the biggest thing you're doing to destroy your visibility on Google, is focusing too much on Google. Now, we got some other videos where we talk about the structure. On the structure side, obviously, you do want to build that for Google, and also the user experience too, particularly mobile friendliness and page speed, right? That benefits the user, but it also caters directly to Google. When you think about the structure sides, I said on content side, focus on the user, but on the structure side, it's kind of one and the same, the user and Google, because Google basically says, treat me like an everyday visitor, and therefore, what do everyday visitors like? What do you like, right? You don't like a slow loading website, and you also don't like a website when you click around, it's hard to navigate. It might not be mobile friendly. So Google says, treat us like a visitor, and we'll reward the things the visitors like. When you build a website that's easy to navigate, loads quickly, and is mobile friendly, clear call to action, then Google will reward that as well. One of the biggest things you could be doing to destroy your reach on Google is actually focusing too hard on Google.